What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 6, and we're starting today's episode off here with a game against Swansea City in the Premier League. But in today's episode, as this will be uploading on Saturday morning, if you want to see another episode of Career Mode tonight, then get this video to 2,500 likes. It's a lot to ask for, I know, but the support on the video so far has been absolutely incredible. Can't say thank you enough for that. So if you want to see a double upload of Career Mode and another episode later tonight, then get this video to 2,500 likes, and I'll upload another one after today's football. Still, we take on Swansea for the first game of today's episode here, and how about this for the first chance of the game? Costil, the Swansea goalkeeper, receives a back pass and almost dribbles the ball over the goal line there, and I had to stop the game to take an instant replay of this. How close is this ball to crossing the line from the goalkeeper? He sees the back pass there, it's a poor first touch, then he nods it on, and then takes a third touch, and he's still going towards the goal before hoofing it off the goal line on the volley. And as you can see here, I had to take the camera up a little bit to show you it on the line. This ball, I swear, is so close to crossing the line. It is just unreal. I mean, seriously, if that goal would have went in, Gary Monk wouldn't have just subbed his goalkeeper off. He'd kick him off the team bus on the way back to Wales. Unbelievable. Lucky piece of play from the goalkeeper there. You can see it actually had a goal decision system. That's how close it was to being one of the most comical own goals I'll ever see in my entire life. How close is that? Unbelievable stuff. And that is one lucky goalkeeper, probably the luckiest goalkeeper ever. That was insane, but it was still 0-0. Sadly, despite the comical poor first touch, it didn't go in, didn't cross the line. It was still 0-0. We went pretty close there, but the goalkeeper went some way to redeeming himself with a good stop, and it was still goalless. And from the resulting corner, Hirado crosses the ball in, Prado wins the header, but our centre-back's header goes over the bar and behind for a goal kick. So still 0-0, and that was how the score was at half-time as well. As you could see, 45% possession compared to Swansea 55%. One thing you noticed from me last season is that I dominate possession in most of my games. In this year's FIFA, don't expect me to win the possession battle very often. It's completely different this year. Still, in the 65th minute, Ruben Loftus-Cheek went pretty close there. The man on loan from Chelsea putting the shot just over the bar and behind for a goal kick. And in the 68th minute, a good chance for Swansea. We get the ball away. Gylfi Sigurdsson goes for goal, but the former Spurs man can't hit the target, and he goes behind for a goal kick. So still 0-0 in this game. One good chance fell here in the 79th minute to break the deadlock. Ruben Loftus-Cheek gets on the ball, plays it through towards Etienne Capoue, but sadly, this sort of summed the game up, really. Capoue slips when he's going one-on-one, and it's still 0-0. And then check this out here later on in the game. I mean, this kind of just summed the entire game up. Barami receives the throw and then trips over his own teammate as the ball goes behind for a goal kick. So 0-0 was the final score. I mean, it was just a terrible game, really. There were some chances, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't the best. You know, the chances that came were half chances, really. I mean, the closest we came to a goal was that ridiculous back pass, which the goalkeeper almost made a complete hash out of. But still, final score was 0-0. Good to get a clean sheet again. Good to get back to a point as well after losing our last game to Manchester City, the first defeat of the season. But it was so hard to give a man of the match in this game. It was so bad. I mean, I should probably give it to the statistician for being the only one in the stadium who didn't fall asleep. It was just terrible, really. But I gave it to Nathan Ake. He played all right. But either way, not the best of games, really. And also another game where we failed to score. And right now, that is a big problem for us. You know, we're failing to, get too many shots on target. And when we do, they're usually, quite tame and at the goalkeeper. We're not really looking too good in front of goal. And coming into this game here against Newcastle United, as you can see for the second and final game of today's episode, Martin Tyler and Alan Smith did discuss our goal-scoring problems as well pre-game.
Well, we know, Alan, where it's going wrong for Watford, don't we? The lack of capacity to score.
Well, you look at the chances created, and there's been enough to warrant more goals scored than they actually have.
So Martin Tyler and Alan Smith being as blunt as possible. No goals in our last 2 games, only 3 scored all season in the Premier League. And of course only 1 goal so far this season for our club captain Troy Deeney and our main striker. So obviously that was on the opening day of the season. So right now he's the one that's getting the stick from the commentators and the pundits right now. So coming into this game against Newcastle United away from home at St James's Park, didn't this feel good just 4 minutes in? We give the ball to Troy Deeney, and wouldn't you just know it, the opening goal of the game does come from our captain, under fire right now for possibly underperforming, if you will. He opens the scoring, does the salute to the Newcastle fans, and makes it Newcastle 0, Watford 1. So the perfect start to this game. I played him through one-on-one with Colaccini, and once he beat the Argentine centre-back, no one was going to catch up to Deeney, and it's a crisp finish by the number 9 as well. Puts it past Tim Krul, and the skipper opens the scoring here. So only 1 win so far in the Premier League, and that was on the opening day of the season. Deeney did get the first goal of that game as well, so delighted to see him hit the back of the net again, and for us to take the lead again. But sadly, the lead wouldn't last last too long. 13 minutes later, how about this for a score in the Newcastle team? Edin Dzeko, the Bosnian, grabbing the goal. Really poor from me there. I gave the ball away with a right back, and once it was crossed to the far post, Dzeko was unmarked with a free header, and he puts it past Jack Butland. So poor defending from me there, and Dzeko does score for Newcastle and make it 1-1. So the home side are back on level terms, but a good chance for us to retake the lead here in the 31st minute as our Dutch winger goes down the right hand side. Can't pronounce his name, so don't ask me to. He gets taken down just inside the area, and the referee gives a penalty as well. Colaccini, who was already having a nightmare, he got beat one-on-one with Troy Deeney for the first goal, and this time as the Dutch winger takes it round him, he can't keep up. He lunges in from behind, and as the Dutch winger does hit the floor, the referee gives a penalty. I'm going to try and pronounce his name. Is it Berghaus? I think that would sound probably right in Dutch, but either way, Colaccini does give away a penalty. He gets a booking for his troubles as well. He had a terrible start to this game, the Newcastle defender, and you can't really complain about that penalty. So penalty to Watford. It is our first one of the season as Colaccini gets a booking for his troubles as well. Troy Deeney is going to stand up and take it. He's already got one goal in this game. He's already got his second goal of the season. Can he get his third of the season and the second of the game as well? Trying to answer the critics that he's got right now. It's Deeney against Tim Krul, England against the Netherlands, and Deeney sends Krul the wrong way and makes it Newcastle 1, Watford 2. So Deeney second of the game, and doesn't this feel good? You know, whenever you have a striker in career mode that's on a slump right now, can't bang in the goals, when you get two or more in the same game, that really does renew your confidence in him. And that's exactly what's happened here with Deeney. Yes, this is a penalty, but he still has to score it. It's his third goal of the season, the second in the game, and you can see at half time I felt we were full value for the lead as well. 2-1 up in this game, we're playing all right, but then just after kick off in the second half here, 2 minutes later, had a good chance to make it 3-1. Our right back, who was at fault for the goal that Newcastle scored, goes forward and shoots from just outside the area, but Colaccini's deflection goes behind for a corner, and behind for a corner. So still 2-1 in this game. From the corner, it's crossed in by Berghaus into the centre. Prodl controls it, hits it on the volley, but it's straight at Tim Krul, and a simple save for the goalkeeper. So still 2-1 in this game, but another chance for us to make it 3-1 here in the 58th minute. We were going in search of our first win in the league since the opening day, so there was no sitting back and trying to defend our lead. We wanted more goals, and as Nathan Ake finds Victor Barbo here, he takes it around Chancellor Mbemba, gets taken down, and the referee gives a second penalty in the game just before the hour mark. The young defender is the guilty party for Newcastle, but this time I wasn't too sure whether it was a penalty because he does win the ball. There is contact with Ibarbo, don't get me wrong, but I wasn't really sure about it personally. If this is the first save of mine you've watched, then basically whenever we get penalties and they're debatable ones, we always chip them down the middle and give the goalkeeper the best chance of saving it. So even though it's chance for Troy Deeney to get his hat-trick, we still chip it down the middle, but it doesn't matter in the end because Tim Krul dives to his right-hand side and Deeney grabs his hat-trick on the stroke of the hour mark. So Newcastle 1, Watford 3. I know 2 of his goals are penalties, don't get me wrong, but it's his 4th of the season. He gets our first hat-trick of the series, and I'm absolutely delighted because he's the man that's been taking most of the criticism right now. We've been struggling to score goals. He gets his hat-trick in this game. Yes, again, 2 are penalties, but he's still got to score them, and it is Newcastle 1, Watford 3. So I wasn't sure about the penalty. It probably was one in all fairness. There was some contact, but either way, 3-1 to Watford, and what a great chance to make it 4-1 10 minutes before the end. Lewis off the bench sprints through here. No one's going to catch our young winger, but sadly Tim Krul denies him, and it is still 3-1 to Watford. So in this game, Newcastle did grab themselves the goal through Dzeko, but we were playing so much better than them. Another good chance here, but this header takes a deflection off our right back and goes behind for a goal kick. We were the far better side in this game. Full value for our 3-1 lead. And Newcastle would have a chance for a consolation goal here in the 88th minute, but it's a good save by Jack Butland, and eventually Riedewald gets the ball away. And it was how the game would finish as well. Final score, Newcastle 1, Watford 3 at St James's Park. We get the result in this game. Absolutely delighted about that, and full value for our win as well. And I thought this was really cool as well. Check out what Martin Tyler and Alan Smith say after the game.
Well, undoubtedly, he was the star man today.
Well, he goes across and grabs the match ball from the ref, a hat-trick, and that's to be treasured by any player.
Yep, they criticised him before the game, but Troy Deeney has the last laugh. He gets to collect the match ball from the referee and walk off with it as well. I thought that was really, really cool. A nice little new feature there from EA. Nice little touch there, seeing the striker getting a hat-trick and walk off with the match ball as well. So Deeney undoubtedly man of the match for the hat-trick, and I'm absolutely delighted for him, and good to see us get our first win in the league since the opening day of the season as well. And that is just, that's those little features right there from EA. You know, they're just like little nice touches. They may seem a little bit trivial, but they just make the game a little bit more realistic, give you a more immersive feel, and it's pretty cool to see. But either way, that does end the episode, guys, so thank you very much for watching the video. Really hope you have enjoyed it. If you enjoyed today's episode of Career Mode, then please do leave a like. Don't forget 2,500 likes and I'll upload a second episode of Career Mode later on tonight after the football. So hopefully I'll see you for that episode very soon. 2,500 likes for it, and hopefully I'll see you for it later on tonight. I'm pretty sure he'll be worth every single penny of those £40 million. If you give him the game time, put him straight in the first 11, he's good enough to be your headline striker at 84 overall, and take Olivier Giroud's place. He'll get you about 20 goals a season in the Premier League, and that could be the difference between you winning the Premier League or finishing in second, third or fourth. So Lacazette for me would be my big signing, the main signing.